Real in the city, no steel in the city. I eat rappers, so I make a meal of the city. I'm feeling the city like I'm dealing with T's. One mic, one hook, just real in the city. A magician on a mic like Silva, man, I flow calm and it can't come realer. And the lead from the arms might kill you, but instead I throw palms and heal you. In the city where shit gets grey, and the dreams just don't come fair though. By any means, we all need this red though. Sophie's got more times than Aguero, man, it's all messed up. We got the whole game dressed up. Fake life in a red tux, no clue, so your head's stuck. And I'ma just keep eating rappers like Sami, cause your weak bars couldn't touch or harm me. I defend my team like Walker, but it's just me, myself, in the army. So I just implode facts, kick back like Kimbo's back. Trust me, I've been low, it's mad. So many souls been broken half. And the man roll round in a whip and all of the windows black. So you're thinking they with those straps, and the thing goes black. So you could get hit quick with a ricochet, let wick split like rips in a wicker tray. Death just fucks with a living prey, like you just one real bad trick away. Man, it ain't fun to run, but don't think that the gun the one. Or the knife either, it could turn on your neck and get cut like a white beater. Man, I'm real in this city, no steel in this city. I eat rappers, so I make a meal of this city. I'm feeling this city like I'm dealing with keys. One mic, one hook, just real in this city. Real in this city, no steel in this city. I eat rappers, so I make a meal of this city. I'm feeling this city like I'm dealing with keys. One mic, one hook, just real in the city. You can shoot your shot, I won't let it in. Like Edison, you just miss then run, no reverend. No hits, but the whole shit's relevant. Kick stay crisp in the mix, that's evident. Words to the prince, Baz telling them. Murder them quick, fast shelling them. That's a line that the OG selling them. Old me rock, don't go propelling them. I just set in defiant ways, hit hard like Pep in his prime days. Stop me, I don't break down, I'm Rodri. You ain't getting in my space, you ain't getting in my place. No way like setting a blind maze. Wanna know why I'm getting these migraines? I flow cold, I'm setting the ice age. You can never go far though, I know. You don't get a clap, no bravo. My whole track's cinematic like Marvel. Those rappers in my bag like marbles. Thinking I'm a trip like carpools. When the girls say hey like Arnold, I don't quit when I'm that good shit. If I flip when I spit, it's a rap, no parcel. I'ma go in, don't tempt me. I've been jamming on the mic, I'm Mendy. I don't act hard in the city, it's a red card if you roll 10 men deep. You don't look mean or trendy, so you wear cut eyes from Fendi. Man, I spit like Uzi's plenty, it's no wonder the shells all empty. I'm real in this city, no steel in this city. I eat rappers, so I make a meal of this city. I'm feeling this city like I'm dealing with keys. One mic, one hook, just real in this city. Real in this city, no steel in this city. I eat rappers, so I make a meal of this city. I'm feeling this city like I'm dealing with keys. One mic, one hook, just real in this city.
Hi guys, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV. It's me. I'm sure some of you then were thinking, who is it? Is it Martin? Is it Andy? No, it's me today. Martin's just done the last couple, so I'm just might have a delivery just coming. I'm just waiting for a birthday present for my brother-in-law. So there is. Oh, it's nice, my son. It's all right. Oh no, waiting to come in. He's not very well. He's been teaching all day and he's a bit poorly. So I wanted him to come in, but he's going to run round the back and probably get something to eat. So anyway, how is everyone today? Hope you're well. Let's just see who is on and what's on. Hello, Cal Blundell. How are you, buddy? Brad Niblock's on. Good evening. England's finest. Oh, Andy. Was Bernardo done for racism? Well, it looks that way, Nupham. Brad says, well, I'm waiting for the live stream to start. I wonder who will be doing it today, Andy or Martin. So I asked who it was. Got a feeling it's Martin. No, it's not Martin. I think tonight and here will be very interesting, said Aaron Johnson. England's finest, I know how Andy types. Now it's Andy. Hi, Edward. How are you, mate? It's Andy, yeah. Hi, Nippon. How are you, buddy? What's the birthday present, Andy? It's a bottle of 12-year-old single malt, really nice bottle of Scotch from Scotland. So whiskey, and it's my brother-in-law's coming over from Miami tomorrow or Friday, so he likes his whiskey. So yeah, so bought him a nice one. It's been delivered any time. I've been waiting all morning. It's not come. I went out. There's nothing in the post box, so I'm just waiting for it to arrive today. Hi, Alexander Savage. Hope you're well. Carl Blundell says, "What does your son teach?" He's finished his degree, but he's doing his year teaching business studies. So he's on his year placement in Warrington at the moment. A school. Nipum Sharma says, "I hope Chelsea fans are not banned from your channel." No, mate, not at all. We only ever ban people if they're absolute bellends and start being abusive and things like that. That's the only reason we ban them. We're not that precious. Mark the Blue, hi Andy. Carl says, "Is KDB linked to LFC?" Just forgive me 1 minute. I'm just going to text my son to tell him this samosas in the fridge for him to eat, because he's always starving when he comes home from teaching all day. Is he linked to LFC? Well, according to Liverpool. Alex says, "Andy, have you ever got stick from your family because your dedication to MCFC TV? What do you think?" Carl Blundell, "My cousin lives, married her husband, her kids have an American..." What's that? My cousin lives LA. Is that married her husband, her kids have an American accent? Yes, and they do, but the kids and that are not coming over. Can I have samosa? No, there's only 2 in there for him, some lamb samosas. No, I didn't make them, mate. I bought them today. I bought them. Jay Fresh Donner, what's going on, Andy? How are you, buddy? How is Saskatoon? I'm sure it's very cold because it's bloody freezing here now. Alexander Savage, "I guess they go whenever you come late for dinner." All the time. Carl Blundell, "They call football soccer. It's disgraceful." Carl, don't forget, originally football was called soccer in England, and then it changed to football. So it was originally called soccer. Nipum Sharma, "If Liverpool win the title, you'd better buy yourself a pair of earmuffs." Nah, mate, bring it on. Absolutely bring it on. Kamal Dwyer, "Timing of the ban, very suspect, isn't it?" What do you think? What do you think, Kamal Dwyer? Edward Denham thinks you're correct. He thinks it's a very dodgy timing. We've been waiting. The verdicts, I think, should have been... result of the investigation should have been, I think, 10 days ago, and it's dragged on. We actually thought it was going to come out last Friday before the Liverpool game, but it hasn't. It's come out now, which we'll talk about. Carl Blundell, "Andy, can we do a podcast and absolutely take the crap out of Prem refs? I meant Liverpool supporters." Yes, you can, buddy. I told you, if you want to come on, just let me know when you're free. I've got, because it's international break, we've got a load of podcasts lined up. Alexander Savage, "She'll be going in training with the kids." Cal, we've got, like I said, we've got loads of podcasts coming up. Some of them might be podcast video sort of podcasts, or some might be just purely the podcast version lined up. And I've got some big YouTuber accounts to do that are not just City fans. We've got some people from other big clubs as well. Nipum in particular, you might be very interested. Jan from Yannick on Chelsea, he's coming on. We've got somebody else as well who's got a massive account. He's coming on, and what we're going to do is do a bit of a trio where we talk about sort of City, Arsenal, talk about Chelsea. And we'll be talking about VAR and referees, and then we've got others with the likes of the people who come on here with, like Carl and Martin and Carl in Washington and others. And plus then I've got another podcast that I'm going to do with a journalist, which should be very interesting whilst this international break is on, and that way we can talk about everything that's going on in the Premier League, international football, VAR, refereeing. So it'll be interesting to see a journalist's approach to what they think about it. So there'll be loads coming on, because obviously, as you always know, the international break is just full of gossip. It's full of garbage, full of nonsense, really, if I'm being honest, because there's nothing really out there. So we've lined up loads and loads of people to come on the channel, which is going to be brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So can't wait to be doing them. And I think I'm doing one tonight, hopefully, fingers crossed. And we've got a couple of people who come on, subscribe to Man City Fan TV, who are coming on as well, who've never been on before. So that's going to be really exciting. Let's talk about video games. Calbondo, we're better than that, mate. Edward says, Alexander Savage, you will train with the kids again. Voice of the North, if Liverpool win the league, we'll never hear the end of it. Really? Oh, told you. There you go. Right on cue. Give me 1 second, guys. Thank you.
Which one is going to use power? Okay.
All right, thanks. It's here. It's arrived. There you go. So this is the one. I won't turn it round because it's got my address on it. But that's the present anyway. So we wanted, because it's alcohol, I've got to give him my date of birth and everything else that goes with it. So apologies for that. But I have been waiting all bloody day for it. So let's get back to what you were saying. Andy, when you're doing that referee video, not just yet, mate, Kamal, I will be doing it. It's just when I speak to the journalist, I'm gonna dig into his ribs a little bit more with regards to it, because he was one that said be very, very careful. Be really, really careful with what you say. So I'm going to run some things by him. Let's just see. Oh, big jump there. It's coming home, says Nippon. Oopsie. Nippon, I disagree, pal. Just banter. Kamal, Andy is looking for lawyers. I am looking for media lawyers. Yeah, content lawyers anyway, just to cover my back. Andy, what are your memories of our next Carabao Cup rivals? Oxford. Oh God, we played Oxford quite a number of times in the past. Going back to the 80s, and also that's my earliest memory. I think, was it 80s? I can't remember. But my youngest lad's friend Ben Woodburn, who plays for Liverpool, he's on loan there, but sadly he's fractured his ankle, I think, and I'm not sure whether he'll be back fit for it. So I was hoping that I might be able to go down there, meet up with him and his parents and things like that, and do some interviews. And so I'm trying to get in touch with his mum at the moment to see whether I can, and whether he's going to be back fit for it. So hopefully, fingers crossed, Ben might be back in training with Oxford, because he's on loan there, and yeah, he might play, might be in the team. So that'd be great if I can go down to that game and meet up with him. Alexander, Charlotte, you lot are overachieving this season. Respect. And Chelsea are doing absolutely amazing. I think Lampard's doing a wonderful, wonderful job. It's great to see. And teams like City, I'll be honest with you, teams like City ourselves could look at Lampard and what he's doing with the youth, albeit he's forced into it. He's doing a great job. There's no doubt in it whatsoever. He's doing a wonderful job. Voice of the North, Pep to Bayern Munich surfacing again, but did I read it in the Daily Bollocks? The Star? Oh no, it's not just in the Daily Star, mate. I'm going to talk about the Daily Mail very shortly. Nippon, have you ever interviewed opposition fans? Nippon, are you joking? Have you ever seen our videos, mate, on match days? You need to go and watch our match day vlogs, buddy. We interview opposition fans nearly every single game, home and away. Edward Denham, Alexander Martin has offered to do a watch-along for the Oxford game. Yes, he did. Nippon, yes, they have. Cal says, found this thing on VAR. It's a bit controversial, so can I send it? Yes, send it via email, mate. Edward Denham sounds good, mate. Nippon, I agree with you. Chelsea are a bit like Spurs this season. Alexander, Andy's training with the kids now. My whiskies are hard getting. It has, thank God. Another big jump. Forehead cream has arrived. Just for you, thanks, City. It's on its way. Klopp is a lying bastard, said English finest. Alexander Savage, better than Spurs, mate. These guys are inconsistent as hell, and they have a decent squad. Aaron says, Bernardo fined 50 grand. Bulgaria fined the same for their fans against England. The FA are out to get us. Where will that money go to line their greasy pockets? I'm falling out of love with football. Yeah, we'll talk about Bernardo Silva. We're going to talk about that. Actually, we'll talk about it now because obviously it's the latest news with regards to that, and that is obviously on Bernardo Silva and the Mendy tweet. And if I read from the FA rules, did you get your samosas, Ralph? Yeah. Oh, good. If you read the FA rules and regulations, and on the FA website, they basically have said their statement today was very short, but they've said Bernardo Silva has been suspended for one first-team competitive fixture. He's been fined £50,000 and must complete face-to-face education after admitting a breach of FA Rule E3. The Manchester City midfielder's social media activity on the 22nd of September 2019 breached FA Rule E3 1 as it was insulting and or improper and or brought the game into disrepute and constituted an, in quotation marks, aggravated breach, which is defined in FA Rule E3 2 as it included reference, whether expressed or implied, to race and or colour and or ethnic origin. The Independent Regulatory Commission's written reasons can be downloaded in full below. So, what I will do is, I'm just seeing if I can... No, I can't really, but what I will do, because that's just downloading it for me, but I'm just trying to see whether I can... It's not even giving me an external link, which is a shame, because I was going to try and see whether I could just get an external link. It's more of an internal one, but what I will do is I will post for you on here in the comments section. I will post for you the link, so if you want to read it in more depth, there you go. I've just posted the link to you there, so you'll be able to see it. So, what are your thoughts on that? The fact that Bernardo Silva has obviously been banned for one game, suspended for one game, if you want to call it, and he will miss the Chelsea game. He's got a £50,000 fine, and he's been told he has to complete a face-to-face education program, let's say, after admitting. And the reason being for that is, I know people will hit on the admitting side of it, but that basically means that he was basically told that he wouldn't have got less than one game, and if he actually appealed against it, the chances were he would have got more than one game banned. So yeah, so there you go. Joe Smith _Axe. That's the reasons behind it. Edward Denham, English finest is a bastard. Alex says that might be on a popular opinion. If I could choose a team, I'd like to win the Premier League. It'd be Tottenham. If City weren't to win, it'd be OFC. Joe Smith, the tweet about Mendy. Voice of the North, I would love Burnley to win the Premier League rather than Spurs. Alexander says, Edward, no thanks. I'd rather see Leicester win it. Nippon, should City sign Nicholas Soulé? Not sure. Edward, Nippon, no, he's too injury prone. Cal says Everton are the most underachieving side in the league. They are, definitely. Them and West Ham, I agree, Edward. Hi, football fan chat. But he's a rock when he's in form. Just home from work. FA bottled it, said James Richardson. Well, let's face it. Were we really surprised? Is anybody really surprised on here that Bernardo has... Actually, are you surprised Bernardo's only got a one-game ban and a £50,000 fine? Ask yourself that. Maybe he's got off lightly compared to what it could have by the FA. Alex says, Voice of the North, of course, mate, but to be fair, Tottenham have a better shot at winning it than Burnley. Alex says, I'd probably like West Ham to win it as well. They've never won a league title. Cal says, Silva gets banned for a joke Wayne Hennessy used a nasty salute, got away with it, agenda against City from the FA. Well, what makes me laugh is the fact with the Wayne Hennessy one is the FA almost insinuated that they didn't understand what that particular signal he was doing meant. I mean, it's pathetic. I mean, Jesus Christ, these are old men who were born just after the war, and they don't know what that Nazi salute is. I mean, it's absolute garbage. It really is. I mean, it's pathetic. What else have we got on here? City Till I Die, says Nicholas Oosby. Edward says, Alexander Savage, you'd like to see Mark Noble lift the Premier League. There's the link if you want to read the full comments and results of the investigation by the FA into Bernardo Silva's tweet to Benjamin Mendy. James Richard, Common Sense, Edward, John Grogan, anything else to beat us with? Anything else to beat us with? Okay, let's talk about anything else to beat us with. Let me just see if there's anything else coming up on here, because there's quite a few other comments I need to get through. Hello, GM, says Carl. Do a window capture on OBS to share that page. No, thank you, mate. Nipham, yes, West Ham United are my second team. Alexander Savage, it's more about the club and partially about their manager. Edward, Nipham, you've got to be joking. Edward, Alex, Burnley have more chance of winning it than West Ham. Kamal, Andy, thoughts on Pep going back to Bayern? Going to talk about that right now. Nicholas Oosby, the FA are plant pots. It's loads and loads of messages, and thank you for keep the messages coming. Though it's I'm trying to get through them all. The club I hate with a passion is Arsenal. Anelka did a Nazi salute and got banned. Hennessy never makes sense. Football fans at West Ham are your second team. Nippon, another London club. What about Chelsea and Tottenham? Voice of the North, the FA vote Tory. Say no more old man's party. We're not getting into politics on here. Carl, Nippon, Chelsea and West Ham have the worst hooliganism rate in the Prem. Predictions for Chelsea, City. We'll do that next week, mate. Andy, what do you think of the Governors? It depends what you want to know about them, mate. Carl Blundell, I think 4-0. Pep will leave next year, in my opinion. I hate Arsenal more than Spurs. Voice of North 4, City 2. Right, okay, that's enough for that. We're not doing any top predictions and stuff. That's all going to be next week. We're nowhere near Chelsea game, so that's something we'll hold back. But there you go. Somebody talked about the fact of all the news today. This was from this morning, and I literally opened up when I got up this morning. I went through the sort of media, the general media, went through all the newspapers like I normally do, and go through and see what stories are in each, and blah 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 blah. And surprise, surprise, the Daily Mail are back at it again, and I'm not kidding. I'm trying to think, which one did they lead with? They led with the bottom left one. German press claimed Guardiola is lined up for shock Bayern return after visiting their training ground a few months ago because his family don't like living in Manchester and he kept his flat in Munich. That was by, if I remember rightly, James Dutton of the Daily Mail. So I had a quick scan around the article, blah, 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 nothing really in there. It's all speculation, and the headline has clearly been written by a sub-editor to try and get clicks, and they got a click off me. But I scrolled down, and the next article that was there, the main article, and they have moved around now because the days moved along, was as Pep Guardiola, bottom right, as Pep Guardiola and Joe Gomez know only too well, Raheem Sterling will never dodge a challenge. A move to one of the Spanish giants in the footsteps of Bale and Ronaldo seems his obvious next move. That was by Sammy Mockbell. More like Mockbellend. And that was the next article down this morning. So we had led with the whole Pep thing with James Dutton. The next main headline was Pep's, basically Sterling's leaving for Spain because he's ruthless and he's whatever else by Sammy Mockbell. I scroll down a little bit further, and then there is another article by Ian Ladyman, who has been pushing and pushing and pushing all over social media, Twitter in particular. And this is where is this article here. And please go over and have a read of it. I mean, it's like proper cringeworthy. And he's put, Raheem Sterling's bust-up highlights the perils of putting young sports stars on a pedestal. And in there, he makes a couple of okay comments with regards to the way Sterling has handled himself and recently. And don't forget, this is the Daily Mail, who went on the absolute attack against Raheem Sterling prior to England's World Cup campaign. And really horrendous headlines. But what he actually says, this is Ian Ladyman, a white man. He claims to give advice and his thoughts and opinions on why Raheem Sterling shouldn't have said anything when questioned after the Everton game about Bernardo Silva's tweet to Benjamin Mendy. And he starts going on this sort of rant about, you know, he shouldn't really have said anything and he's made things worse and he's this, that. And I'm thinking, you're a white man making a comment that Raheem Sterling, who was the one player who has actually come out and done something about this whole racism thing in the UK in the Premier League and football and everything else, you as a white man are claiming that you know better than what Raheem Sterling does as a black man who's been persecuted by you and your colleagues in the media for 18 months. He shouldn't have said this, he shouldn't have said that, he should have ignored it, he should have done the other. And thinking, piss off, you absolute bellend. And then we have this other article that was a little bit further down. I think there was an article on this morning on somebody else, and I think it was United, Memphis Depay or something like that. And now we've got Joe Gomez trains with huge scar across his face 2 days after canteen clash with England teammate Raheem Sterling as the pair trained together despite the Man City forward being axed by Gareth Southgate. And we've got this headline. Now, it is ironic that if you were to scroll down a little bit further, if it would have been this morning, because I know that they have mixed up a few things around this afternoon, but you basically would have come across these 4 articles almost one after the other. Then there was nothing. Then what came up next? What came up next was this wonderful, wonderful piece about how, from Dominic King, who is a Scouser, a Liverpool fan, who wrote all about how wonderful Joe Gomez is and he's this, that and the other, and he's a lovely person. The next article that came after that was, and it was a wonderful occasion, and this is no slight on the individual that I'm going to talk about, but there was pictures of Jordan Henderson and Joe Gomez and Trent Alexander-Arnold hugging Sean Cox in the tunnel afterwards, which is absolutely amazing. I've got no problem with that whatsoever, and I think it's wonderful. And you know, I wish him a speedy recovery and he gets back to normality as quickly as possible, because what happened to him was absolutely horrendous. But you just look at those 4 articles, one after the other, after the other, after the other, and then all you get is just positivity, all about Liverpool themselves. So it started already. It's international break. There's nothing much to talk about except for the Raheem Sterling thing. And all they're doing now is they're going to dig out for the next 10 days. They're going to dig out everything they possibly can to start another sort of smear campaign on Manchester City. We'll probably get 2 days worth of Bernardo Silva. There'll be debates on TalkSport. There'll be everything. Everyone will have an opinion on it and blah, 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 blah. Some will say that he got off lightly. Others will say it's ridiculous. And that's all you're going to get. So that's just the way it is. So let me just go back and I'm sure there's loads more comments. So let me just quickly go through what you've got to say on the whole thing. Let's go down. Cal Blundell, Anelka did a Nazi salute and got banned, but Hennessy never makes no sense. It doesn't. West Ham are your second club. Okay. What about Chelsea, Tottenham? The FA Votori. Oh yeah, we've done that one. Skip through because that was all about who is Ian Ladyman. He's a writer for the Daily Mail. The papers lie. Well, we know that. According to the paper, Bruno Fernandes has been on a plane to Man U for like 2 years now. Man United are a Premier League joke. The best Premier League clubs of the 21st century: City, Chelsea, and Salford United. Yasser HS is Bernardo banned for how long? Just gone through that, mate. Yasser, one game, £50,000 fine, and do a sort of re-education program. Yeah, they were great as well. One game, one match, one game. Now Richardson, bless Sean Cox. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Hello, all you Blues out there. So, Ban versus Chelsea, Yasser? Yes, he is. Who is Joe Gomez? He was pretty much irrelevant in the game on Sunday. Really a childish move to troll a guy who's one of the best players in the league. It's Bash City time. Iona beats. It is. Just waiting for FFP to rear its head again. Oh, that'll be coming in at some point. There'll be a lull, and then all of a sudden, it's interesting that Infantino has just introduced the fact that Arsene Wenger is now on the, I forgot what his title is going to be, the head of footballing committee or something like that. Arsene Wenger's now working with UEFA, I think, or FIFA, one or the other. It was a bad joke between two friends, FA acting like communists. K2 Edge says, do you not think City players should be keeping their heads down and getting on with it on the pitch? Feels like being behind Liverpool has introduced pressure and they're not dealing with it. I dealt with it last year, didn't we? And we were behind then with a lot less time to go. I don't mind Raheem not playing for England. He's going to spare some energy for a hat-trick against Chelsea. Let's hope so. Cal Blundell. Do you think the rumours of Del trying to lure Stones back to Everton are true? Saw it on Everton forums. Don't know where that's come from. But hey, you never know. You never know, Cal. Do you think Raheem will get abuse at all away grabs now? And do you think it will affect his form? I doubt it. Jesus, look at what Raheem Sterling's put up with over the last 18 months. And he's only gone from strength to strength. No, the guy's tough. He's a tough guy. Very mentally strong. What is your predicted lineup for Montenegro? Don't care. Don't watch international football. It's utter garbage. Certainly wouldn't even be watching this one, even if Raheem Sterling was playing. It's crap. It was heated on Sunday. Chief of Global Football Development, that was it, Aaron Johnson. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. Can't wait for KDB to Liverpool news. Yeah, should we do that one? Should we do that one? Let's do the KDB to Liverpool. Right, let me have a look. Where is it? Let me see if I can bring it up. Yes, this was LFC transfer room. Kevin De Bruyne. Me and Klopp have a good relationship. He wanted me at Dortmund at a time. I think I admire him, and he admires me. So every time we see each other, it's always in a good note, which is perfectly fine. And underneath that, these Liverpool fans took to Twitter to talk up the possibility of Kevin De Bruyne to Anfield. So let's just have a look at some of these whoppers. Here we go. In reply, this is QB rating, and he says, De Bruyne in the January window confirmed. The next one. This is Robertson Carlos. We get the hint, Kevin. Jesus Christ. I mean, is there anything more cringeworthy than looking at that and that? I mean, oh my Lord. I mean, talk about cult. I mean, it's just unbelievable. But what we obviously had when we talk about cults is we talk about the next one who's the absolute biggest whopper of them all, and that is this fella. And we all know what John Aldridge is like. I mean, he talks utter shite 100% of the time. Now, he's come out, and this is what his comments were. And he said, let me just find his quotes. He says, writing in his column for the Liverpool Echo, he says, Pep Guardiola certainly showed his petulant side with his antics on the touchline and after the match. I think Manchester City are so used to getting their own way most of the time that they don't know how to react when things go against them, and they behaved like spoilt kids, really. I understand their frustrations on the touchline because I've been there myself, but the way Guardiola and Arteta were carrying on, as well as Sterling and Kyle Walker, it was like watching dummies being thrown out of the pram. No one likes getting beaten, but there's a way to win and a way to lose, and particularly with the eyes of the world on Anfield for a match of this magnitude, City really didn't do themselves any favours whatsoever. And then he goes on to say, he goes on to add, the atmosphere inside the ground was tremendous again, and the Anfield crowd know exactly how to react when they're asked to by the manager. When our lot are on it and really get behind the team, there really is nowhere better. For Guardiola to say it's the hottest ground in world football, wow, what a show of respect that is from a man who's played and coached all over the world. He knows that if City had a crowd like ours, they will get to the Champions League final because they are able to help so much. Unfortunately for him, it's like a concrete jungle at the Etihad. There's no atmosphere. Anfield is a hotbed, and we know that it's made the difference on many occasions in the past and pushed Liverpool team beyond what they thought they were capable of. Liverpudlians have always been good at responding to calls to arms, but the Klopp factor has taken it to a new level. Such is the respect and love the fans have for the boss. Well, John Aldridge, I've got one thing to say to you. Why, if that is the case, why have you not won the Premier League for 30 years if your fans get you over the line so much? Why is it you're celebrating a Carabao Cup, European Carabao Cup? Yeah, your fans haven't been able to push you over the line, and you've been so close so many times, and that, we'll get behind you, we're just the most amazing fan base in the world, we're not even English, we're Scouts, why have they never got you over the line in 30 years? That's how great the fan base is. John Aldridge, what an absolute bell sniff of a person. He then, actually, I found something talking about being, this is John Aldridge talking about sort of the way that acts like a child and things like that. Well, that picture I've shown you there is his first day as a professional at Anfield. Take a closer look and you can see two plasters on his right hand. And he says, as my hand was not in a plaster cast, few people would have known it was broken. He said Joan had arranged a party in Hunts Cross Snooker Club. Touchingly, she'd gone to great lengths to make sure all my family and friends were there to celebrate my move to Liverpool. The problem was we all ended up drunk and the night turned sour. I don't know how it started or how it finished, but somewhere in between, I allowed my frustration to show by punching a window. If only I knew there was a brick wall on the other side of the glass. Liverpool don't like new players turning up with broken hands, so I reckoned suffering the pain was preferable to telling Kenny Dalglish the truth. So this is John Aldridge procrastinating about behaviour in a big game at Anfield and throwing the ties out the pram. Yet on his night out when he just joined Liverpool, he actually put his fist. He just joined Liverpool, put his fist through a window because it all kicked off and ended up punching a wall on the other side. So what an absolute fucking cockwomble John Aldridge is. I mean, Jesus is the biggest bell end out there. But anyway, let's go back and see what you've got to say. Miss that one, right? You're talking about, I'm not bothered about international football. Andy, can you see Raheem being our future captain? Yeah, possibly. No offence, but no one cares about international football. TBH, hi, official Emery has been parted ways with Arsenal Football Club. Check Twitter, really? That's gotta be a joke. Really? I don't know. I'll check now, but I don't know. I'm doing this vlog, so I can't really check all the news. But I've not heard anything on that, and it normally have come up. So no, nothing on that. So that's clearly somebody winding people up. John Henson, Declan Rice, Emery hasn't. Alexander Savage felt a bit like Sterling was having joy against Trent Alexander-Arnold when Gomes came on. He was leaving a bit on Sterling to get under his skin. Of course he was. Christ, look at those whoppers. Kevin De Bruyne to Liverpool is the biggest joke of the century. Liverpool are mentally still trailing to City Weak-minded clowns. Cal, well, that's funny because he was in training with Arsenal team today. Aaron Johnson says, yeah, cringe alert at the weekend. United fans and Dipper fans hugging each other. Really? Deluded or what? Alexander Savage, Liverpool have not lost a game, remember. Brad Hughes, why are you always talking about 3? I don't know what you mean. TBHI, when did you last get under the sheets, everyone? And you host Mater. I don't know what that means. Brad Hughes, Liverpool. Edward Denham, TBHI, what you on about? This is a football channel. Their fans' behaviour towards City says, oh, mate, for real. Still talking about Liverpool. Alexander Savage, the thing is, I feel like company going has hurt City mentally and dreadful. And that I would definitely agree with. K2 Edge, definitely. Oh, I think he's a massive loss. Huge loss for City from a leadership and a captain point of view. I think he's, not only that, I mean, just the way he talks and his passion, and he knows the club. He's been there. He'd been there for 10 years. He knew everything about it. He kept a tight ship. And I think we have missed, I'll be honest, I think we've missed company massively. Even if it's not just on the pitch whenever he could be fit. I think just around the club, I mean, he's set standards so high. He obviously doesn't know how to win. Pep's the best loser in football. Edward, people have to keep the human race going. That's true. We're missing him big time, to be honest. Just check Twitter, nothing about it. Stop lying. You sound like a right weirdo, if I'm honest. Iona beats Wow Savage. His absence is hurting us. I agree. Their fans don't play on the pitch. Liverpool have been playing to the whistle, and honestly, City haven't as proved by the punked goal at the weekend. Aaron Johnson. Please. Let's not have that, mate. Brad Hughes, the rival wasn't even relevant before the money. Aaron Johnson, I didn't mean to remove you from the channel. I just meant to remove that comment. Anfield went quiet 15 minutes from the end. Aldridge, bell end. K2 Edge, Alexander Savage, Liverpool remind me in 90s United pulling lucky 90 minutes goal. Well, I mean, listen, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. We've done it in the past as City. No problem with doing that whatsoever, because good teams do that. They play right to the end. United did it. City have done it. Arsenal have done it. And Liverpool are doing it. So there's nothing wrong with that side of it whatsoever. Hey, listen, don't get me wrong. Liverpool as a team are a wonderful, wonderful team. Klopp's got them playing very good football, very strong football. I've got no issue with the actual team and the way they're playing. I mean, where they are now, they deserve to be. Where we are, we deserve to be. It's all the other bullshit that surrounds it that is what I don't like. Renegade support, enough said. Don't know what's all that's about. To be honest, Pep has just passed away with laughter with Michael Oliver. Stevie Nicol on ESPN, very complimentary of City's performance against Liverpool. He also said no question about TA's first handball is a penalty. Nippon, Edward Durnham, what about Sergio and David Silva? Brad Hughes, who talks about Liverpool all the time. Kiam's on. Pep must be considering quitting football altogether after seeing the corruption going on. Hey, listen, would not surprise me. Would not surprise me if he's having second thoughts. I don't think he'll be going though. I'll be honest with you. That's my opinion, Kiam. I hope Man City get destroyed. Well, yeah, of course you do, mate. Absolutely, of course you do. Martin will be very pleased. Ruben Diaz. Well, there's a report coming out today saying that City desperately, obviously, like we know, need a new centre-back to cover for Kompany's absence and obviously Laporte's injury. But basically, as Martin loves Ruben Diaz, and they have been coming out saying that City are keeping a very close eye on him. But basically, City sniffed at the 80 million fee for Harry Maguire. So when you consider that Benfica hoping to tie, he's got a release clause at the moment of £60 million in his contract, but Benfica are trying to tie Diaz down to a new contract, which means he'll have a rise to 80 to 100 million pounds as a release clause in his contract. Now, City are not going to go anywhere near that. If they're going to sniff at 80 million for Maguire in the summer, they're not going to pay 100 million, 80 to 100 million for Ruben Diaz. They're just not going to do it. So the rumours are City are in desperate search for a loan signing in January to cover us through to the summer, in the hope that Aymeric Laporte will be back sometime towards the end of January 2020. So Martin, I'm sure Martin is absolutely hopeful that Ruben Diaz doesn't sign a new contract, because if he does, then I cannot see City spending 80 to 100 million pounds on Ruben Diaz in certainly not in January, probably definitely not next summer either. So you've got to look at it and think, when you see some of the signings that Leicester have made as well. So, I think Soyuncu cost, was it 17.8 million or something like that? There must be players out there. Kiam will probably say we should have got Johnny Evans. Maybe you're right, mate. Maybe you're right. We should have got him, Johnny Evans. Who knows? Why didn't City go for Van Dijk? They did. By all accounts, City were showing an interest in Van Dijk. If you listen to what the rumours were, Van Dijk said he was a Liverpool fan and only wanted to go to Liverpool. So City just said, fine, fair enough, no problem, and didn't pursue it any further whatsoever. Brad Hughes, funny how Man City have the smallest fan channel. Yeah, funny that, isn't it? Really, really funny. Fan channels or channel. Who do you support, Brad Hughes? Brad, that's not true, you melt. Edward, probably not Nippon. Not many Italian defenders have done well in the Prem. Brad Hughes, smallest? Nowhere near the smallest. Alexander Calblundell, Brad Hughes is a bot. Ignore it. Yeah. Football Fan Chat 10K is great in 18 months, and Andy and the guys put in loads of hard work. Thank you, GM. Edward, Brad, you're a dipper. Paul Stanley, going to miss the vlog as on my way home in a mo. Hope all good, everyone. Nice to see you back, Andy. Thanks, Paul Standall. You can watch it back in about 20, 30 minutes, mate. We're going shortly. Nipum says, not always the case, Edward. Carl, Man City Fan TV might be small, but we are all icons. Brad Hughes, Liverpool, Spurs, United, and Arsenal have bigger channels. Of course they do, mate. Nobody's saying any different. What do you want me to? What would you really like me to say to that? Ray J737 looks like Bayern is going quiet on Sane. Well, no, they're not. Rumours are that they're coming in for him again in January, and for purchase in the summer. So they may come in January for him with him going there in the summer. I wonder what the hierarchy at City's thinking about him. Well, there's been all sorts of rumours, haven't they? That we've done videos on the whole Ray J. We've done videos on the Sane possible replacements in the past and spoke about them at length. I personally think it's not looking good, Willie Roy. I'll be honest with you. Unless we throw an absolute bundle of cash at him, I can't see it happening, and I think City will start getting a bit pissed off with it, if I'm honest, and go, right, fine, we'll cut the losses. If we get 70, 80 million quid for him, he can go, and we'll bring in somebody else. I think his attitude, I'm not sure whether they're too keen on his attitude. You saw players travelling down over to the Liverpool game who were injured and supporting the team while he was out in the US watching basketball. So is that a demonstration of his commitment? Was he out there for treatment? Who knows? Bradley's just a total bellend, he is. That must be a new word, Kamal. He isn't even that bad. Don't think Van Dijk was a Liverpool fan. Personally, I think Klopp tapped him up. No, apparently the word was Van Dijk did say that he was a Liverpool fan, but who knows? Carl, I get your point. What's that got to do with City? Nippon, the smaller the better, because then they can talk to everyone during a live stream. Brad Hughes, all bigger clubs, all the trophies, and can still not grow the channel. Get them Love Island lot, promote the club. Oh, Brad, you are. I mean, God, you must be. Let's just remove you because you're just very, very boring. I mean, God, if you were actually quite humorous, I'd keep you around, but not even funny. Hate to keep asking you about Sane. It's just a shame. It is a shame. Oh, don't get me wrong. He rehabilitated. Now, well, that's what I was saying. We don't know. He could have been out there having treatment and things like that. Mervyn, don't know what that was. England's finest. We've been to Rotterdam and Monaco, Napoli and Rome. Nicholas Ousby, Bale has to be honest. Oh God, no, thank you, Nicholas Ousby, no chance. Andy Ban, this clown is already gone, mate. Boys from North, Liverpool have the biggest unemployment rate, Brad, but we do brag about it. Brad has dipped in bin 6. Carl Lundell, Brad probably sits at home and plays FIFA, wins the league with Liverpool. He's wet dream, but it's never going to happen. Be gutted if Sane does. Yeah, so would I, but I think we all have to be realistic with it, Paul. It's coming to that. It's not. Things are just not happening, are they? I mean, the signs aren't looking good. It's been over 12 months now since City put a contract offer, extended contract offer on the table. It's not really. There doesn't seem to be any movement on it. Then he goes and gets injured, and then still, you'd think if he got injured and City is still prepared to give him an extended contract, you'd think, God, I don't know what I'm going to be like when I come back, but if I get another 5-year contract, another 5 years of money, and I might struggle. I might struggle for 12 months to get my fitness back, but I'll have a nice 5-year, 250 grand a week contract. But he's still not signed it, so it's not looking good unless he's been real. And we don't know this. We don't know it because we're not on the inside. Unless he's been really greedy and he wants like parity with Kevin De Bruyne, who's the highest paid player, like 350 a week or something like that, 325 a week. Unless he wants the same, he wants parity with KDB. He doesn't deserve that. He doesn't. He's a great player, don't get me wrong. But let's face it, for the last 12 months, he's not really pulled up many trees, if I'm honest. So, let's see what else before we go. Sani wants game time. I'll take him. Yeah, of course you would. You take anybody, Cal. Gnabry from Bayern swap. Hey, Gnabry's doing very, very well. San Leeds would get Federico Bernardeschi, a suitable replacement. Loved how City fans sang, "We never went home, we never went away" when City were 1-0 down to Southampton a week ago. Cal, if you couldn't get Zaha, you won't get Sane. When Sane due back? I think I can't remember the exact date. I think it's first week of February or end of January. I think they're all coming back at very much the same time. Last weeks of January, beginning of February. Not true. Highest unemployment rate is in London. Robbie14 says, we're City, we're banned. We'll jib the family stand. I like that. Edward, I'm joking, pal. We have Alex Iwobi. Brian Gardner, we don't know what goes on the quiet with Sane. Well, yeah, we don't. Cal Blundell, take Otamendi ASAP. Cal, you can have Zinchenko. K2 Edge says, not to sound funny, but why are we dwelling so much on Liverpool? Ignore them and concentrate on City. Because it's about City. We're not talking about Liverpool. We're talking the things in particular about City. What would you like me to talk about? Stuff that was out last week that we've already discussed. Every day we talk about City. We've talked about Bernardo Silva. That's City, not Liverpool. We've talked about Leroy Sané. That's City, not Liverpool. We've talked about City getting a centre-back. That's City, not Liverpool. But there are three news stories that have come out today that have all been City-based, but around the Sterling stuff and the reports in the media today on Raheem Sterling and Manchester City and Liverpool. So, hence you got to talk about it. I mean, otherwise we'll just be here going, all right, what's your starting 11 for the international game? Not interested. I'm not going to watch it. What's your starting lineup for the Chelsea game? I'm not interested because it's like 10 days away. Well, what do you think of who would you sign in January? We've done all that. It'd just be repetitive, boring nonsense. Do you think we should go back in for Sancho? Ray J737, that's a really, 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 really good point. I think if Sane goes, Sancho could be a like-for-like replacement. We know he can play out there. More news, Andy. You're not doing well tonight. There's no more news, mate. I'll be honest with you. There's nothing. Otherwise, I'm just repeating stuff that I think Martin spoke about last night. There's nothing really newsworthy of transfers or anything like that because it's the international break. Talking about the Governors and the Blazing Fellas, their own City's fan base. No, I'm not going to talk about that on here. I have a new topic for discussion, Pep's shiny pot. Oh, yeah, that's never been done before, has it? Voice of the North, if we don't have Bernardo for Chelsea game, I'd love to see Jesus and Aguero up top together. You know what? If we don't have Bernardo for the Chelsea game, I would like to see Phil Foden start Voice of the North, being honest. I just don't understand why. I would have played him possibly against Liverpool, but I'd like to see him play against Chelsea. I really would like to see him play. And I'd possibly bring Mahrez back in on the right-hand side. So, who knows? Is there controversial about the Governors? No, nothing really, mate. It's not something for a live vlog to talk about. I wasn't part of the Governors, so really it's for somebody else to talk about, if I'm being honest. The hardest job will be replacing David Silva. I agree. Just seeing the KDB thing above, is that a joke? The Liverpool fans think that Kevin De Bruyne is going to Liverpool in January. No, they posted it on social media. Believe me. Aguero to be dropped against Chelsea, I assume. Ming Wong. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if Gabby comes in. What about the 1894 group? What about them? Do you think John Stones is good enough? I've always stuck up for him, Peter Curry. I've always stuck up for John Stones, I'll be honest with you. I think it's there somewhere. I'm just not sure whether he's mentally strong for a top Premier League club. I mean, you know, no disrespect to Everton and the others, but I'm talking about ones where you're under battle. You're in battles all the time. People are chasing you. You're champions. You're fighting for. I'm having second thoughts, and I've always wanted to stick up for him because I think the ability is there in John Stones. I'm just not sure the mentality is. Are they doing a good job during games with chancing and banners? All right, I suppose they're doing something, which is the main thing. Harry 1232. Yeah, I'm a Liverpool fan and don't have a clue why fans are talking about Mbappe and De Bruyne. Well, yeah, Mbappe. Well, the rumours are. I think the rumours are today. Real Madrid not planning on a £340 million bid for Mbappe. As far as De Bruyne goes, absolutely no chance of him joining Liverpool. Andy, that chuckle tells me it must be a wind-up. Paul Standall, no. Watch the video back and watch. Paul Standall. It's not. I'm not. It is a wind-up. Yeah, it is a wind-up. But that is literally what was posted by the LFC transfer room today. Yeah, talking about the fact just because he admires Klopp. After that, we got on Twitter, De Bruyne in the January window confirmed. We get the hint, Kevin. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. That's basically what we were talking about before. John Stones just needs time in the team. He does, and yeah. It's never going to happen. Otamendi didn't play for Argentina in the World Cup in 2014. Would Ake be mentally tough? I think he would be. I think, I've said it now for 12 months, I think Ake is a very, very, very good player. Of top talent, and he's young, he's strong, and I think he will have that mentality. Might be totally wrong. He might go to a big club up there at the top of the top four, and it don't work out for him. But I really think Ake, I think he's a superb player. But I guess it all depends on what Pep thinks, not us. Colin Pye's on. Why was Mike Dean allowed to be fourth official when he can't ref on Merseyside? Good point, Colin Pye. Good point, buddy. Aaron Johnson saying Ake for weeks. Said it for 12 months, Aaron. Nippon, would Ousmane Dembele be a good replacement for Leroy? I'll be honest with you, I've only seen bits and pieces of him, and I've never been overly impressed, if I'm being honest, considering his price tag. What was it? 166 million quid? Really? I don't know. I guess we've got to trust what Pep thinks on the whole thing. Cal says KDB, Aguero, Sterling signing Laporte to join Burnley. Edwin Dedham, no Nippon. Alexander Savage, 1894 group like their products, their shirts and scarves. Not sure if they're loud enough during games. Mingy Wong, Bravo to Stoke City. Interesting, not heard that one. Paul Snow, I'm off to chop my head off. The World Cup. Robbie 14, deluded Scousers. Alex says, is Gundogan mentally tough, Andy? I don't know, to be fair. I'm with you. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. Cal, Dembele would cost 140 to 200 million. There's no way City that. Yasser HS is City bid for Ake. They will slap 8 million on him because it's City. They'll no doubt. I mean, I think the last rumours were around about 40 million quid. So, you know, it's going to be at least 50 to 60 million quid. That's what City would have to pay. And I'd pay it for him, if I'm honest. City should buy Dembele from Lyon. A striker better than Jesus. Way more clinical class. Nippon, but on his day, he's one of our best wingers in the world. I hope we get UEFA ban like Chelsea so we play the kids. I like that. Chelsea look a better side than I thought would be this season. Hats off to Lampard. Done a wonderful, wonderful job this season. And it just goes to show you, doesn't it? Though he has been forced, and it'd be interesting in January if Abramovich turns around and says, yeah, here's 150 million to spend. Would he spend it, considering that would mean more players coming in? All right, they've added Pulisic to it this season, but you know, would he spend or would he just stick with the kids and the philosophy he's got now? But whatever he's doing a wonderful, wonderful job. Radio 737, Gundogan's great, just such a liability defensively. I agree. Cal, Nippon but Sterling and Bernardo are better. Would Goretzka be a good signing for City? I'm not too sure. Alex says, all right, let's do the Ake transfer in January. Nippon, none of these players could get into City's bench, and that's the thing. Or Mina, I think he's good too. Lucas Digne, I think City will probably go in for him because we'll get rid of Mendy. Watch Cal go mental now. I think Lucas Digne is coming to City in January. I don't think. Andy Doyd. What was that? Oh yeah. I'm sorry, I forgot. It's a 2-window, isn't it? It's 2-window, not 2 years. It's 2-window, so it will be the summer. So it'd be interesting to see even in the summer next season if they give him sort of 150 million quid to spend. Otamendi out, Ake in signing swap with Gnabry. Do you think it's a good idea to do transfer business in January? Only small. It's never ever. It's rarely a good time to buy. But let's face it, you know, the way we are at the moment with injuries and things like that, we might have no choice, even if it's just for cover on loan. It's all business, mate. Nippon Cameron, does Sterling have a World Cup winners medal? No, he doesn't, of course, and you know Nippon Sharma, he doesn't. But anyway, listen, that's it for today. This is Andy from Man City Fan TV. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's come on, all the people who've subscribed, and Aaron, was it Aaron? Not Aaron Johnson. Aaron, it wasn't you. It was, who was it before? Somebody came on before. Let me just go back. I didn't mean to remove you. I meant to time you out. So I do want to say, let me just go back wherever you are. Let me just find who was it now. It was, was it Aaron? Aaron, was it you? I thought it was somebody else. Are you back, Aaron? Yes, it was Aaron. You're back. Thank you. It was you, Aaron. I thought it was somebody else I blocked. I didn't mean to block you, but you're back anyway. But thanks for coming back. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon. Absolutely. You say it, Alexander. And Alex, you need to come on a podcast if you want to. All you have to do if you want to, you having your tea tonight, Andy? Yes, every night, mate. Fish cakes tonight. Let me just put that in here. That's the email address. So if you want to come on the podcasts, we'll be doing plenty of them. And they could be video ones. They could be just audio ones. So you don't have to, if you think I don't want to be on video, you don't have to be. Because it's international break, it's boring. And all we'll be doing is talking over just garbage and rumour mill nonsense. Because that's what happens in international breaks. And we've got 2 weeks of it. So it's like pulling teeth. It feels like it was only yesterday we had an international break. So we'll be doing loads and loads of different things just to keep everybody entertained and up to date, and you can listen to it. Right, Alex, send me an email, mate. Voice of the North, big shout to Brannigan's Beef and Mustard Chris. God, do they still do them? I remember them from years ago, Brannigan ones. Time Stones to go, Colin. It wouldn't surprise me. Unless he gets a run of games, I can't see him being here for much longer. I'll email you when I find the time for it. No problem, mate. Yeah, man, pound shop 5 for £1. Wow. Brannigan's Beef and Mustard. When your next live streaming? Tomorrow. We're back tomorrow doing live streams, mate. But don't forget, look out for the podcasts. Might be doing a podcast shortly. Well, maybe in the next couple of hours. And there'll be loads of other videos. Kiam's doing a new FIFA video coming out. So go out on the channel. I want to say a massive again. What's Super Chat? Super Chat is where if you want a specific question or topic, you can make a contribution towards the channel, or if you want to make a donation towards Tackle for Manchester, you can do that by clicking that dollar icon and making a donation to there. So if you want to make a donation, if there's something in particular that you say, right, on the next vlog I want you to talk about this in particular, as long as it's something that we can talk about, then we'll talk about it. But anyway, listen, thank you so much for We All Hate Liverpool fans, says Gunal. FIFA 20 is broken, Voice of the North says. Wow, really? Take care, Edward. I want to say massive thank you for everybody who's watched all the videos, certainly all the Liverpool stuff from the Liverpool game the weekend. I mean, it was just amazing. I mean, I think we're over 16,000 views, which is absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal figures, really were phenomenal. So it's been brilliant, but we can't do it without you guys. So, like I said, any fan is more than welcome to come on. You don't have to be a City fan if you want to come on, as long as you're respectful. If you start coming on talking a right load of crap, we'll just remove you from the channel. It's that simple. And as you see, there's Nippon on here, Chelsea fan. We've got GM as a Chelsea fan, Cal's an Everton fan. We've got Arsenal fans on here as well, United fans. So come on, be respectful, talk about football. But anyway, we'll be back tomorrow, and hopefully we can do a podcast tonight. But anyway, this is Andy from Man City Fan TV. Take care. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful evening. We'll be back tomorrow. And if you've missed it, this will be back on our channel in about 30 minutes' time. But take care. We'll see you soon.